What if I told you that not every Toyota SUV is the reliability champion you've been led to believe? What if some of Toyota's most popular models are actually struggling with issues that contradict decades of the brand's stellar reputation? And what if the Toyota SUVs you should actually buy aren't necessarily the ones getting the most attention in dealership showrooms? Toyota has built an empire on reliability, practicality, and vehicles that refuse to die. But the 2025 and 2026 lineup tells a more complicated story. Some models continue that legendary tradition, while others are falling short in ways that might shock loyal Toyota buyers. Today, we're cutting through the marketing hype and the brand loyalty to bring you the unfiltered truth about Toyota's SUV lineup. We're starting with the 3 Toyota SUVs you should absolutely avoid, models that don't live up to the Toyota name. Then we'll count down the 4 Toyota SUVs that actually deserve your hard-earned money, the ones that will still be running strong decades from now. And before we dive in, I've also tagged some top-notch useful products in this video that are loved by most of the consumers, so make sure to check them out in the description below. Let's get into it. The 3 worst Toyota SUVs. 3. Toyota Corolla Cross. Let's start with one that's going to upset some people, but the truth needs to be told. The Toyota Corolla Cross is Toyota's attempt to capitalize on the crossover craze by slapping an SUV body on their legendary Corolla sedan platform. On paper, it makes sense. Take the Corolla's proven reliability and efficiency, add some height and cargo space, and you've got an instant winner. In reality, the Corolla Cross is a compromise that doesn't excel at anything. The problem with the Corolla Cross starts with its powertrain. The 2.0-liter 4-cylinder engine produces a measly 169 horsepower, which sounds adequate until you actually try to merge onto a highway with passengers and cargo. This engine is fine in the lightweight Corolla sedan, but in the heavier Corolla Cross, it feels perpetually overworked and underpowered. The CVT transmission, while reliable in typical Toyota fashion, does nothing to make the driving experience feel engaging or even adequate. You're constantly hearing the engine drone as the CVT struggles to find the right ratio. The interior is where the Corolla Cross really disappoints. For a vehicle wearing the Toyota badge and priced in the mid-20s to low 30s, the cabin feels cheap and uninspired. Hard plastics dominate the dashboard and door panels. The seats lack support for long drives. The infotainment system, while functional, feels like it's from a generation ago. When you compare the Corolla Cross interior to competitors from Mazda or even Honda, it's clear that Toyota cut corners to hit a price point. The fuel economy, often touted as the Corolla Cross's saving grace, is good but not exceptional. The hybrid version does better, but even then you're not seeing the kind of efficiency gains that justify choosing this over a RAV4 hybrid. Real-world fuel economy in the gas model hovers around 30 miles per gallon combined, which is respectable but not class-leading when competitors are offering similar or better efficiency with more power and better driving dynamics. 2. Toyota Venza. The Venza is Toyota's stylish, sophisticated crossover that tries to split the difference between the RAV4 and the Highlander. And in doing so, it ends up being a vehicle without a clear purpose. Available only as a hybrid, the Venza promises efficiency and upscale styling, but what you actually get is a compromised vehicle that's too expensive for what it offers and not special enough to justify its existence. Let's talk about that hybrid system. Yes, it's efficient, delivering impressive fuel economy for a vehicle of this size, but the power delivery is peculiar and sometimes frustrating. The Venza's hybrid system uses a continuously variable transmission, and the combination creates a driving experience that feels disconnected and unnatural. When you press the accelerator, there's a delay before power arrives, and when it does, it comes with the characteristic drone of an engine working through a CVT. For a vehicle that costs well into the mid-30s and can easily reach $40,000 with options, this powertrain should feel more refined. The styling, which Toyota marketed as premium and distinctive, has aged poorly even in the short time the Venza has been on the market. The sleek roofline that was supposed to make it look sophisticated actually compromises rear headroom and visibility. The aggressive front end that was supposed to convey sportiness just looks busy and overwrought. This is a vehicle that tries too hard to be something it's not, and the result is styling that doesn't wear well. The real problem with the Venza is that it's solving a problem that doesn't exist. If you want a fuel-efficient Toyota SUV, the RAV4 Hybrid is cheaper, more practical, and just as efficient. If you want a 3-row Toyota SUV, the Highlander offers significantly more space and versatility. If you want a premium Toyota SUV experience, the Lexus RX is worth the step up in price. The Venza occupies this awkward middle ground where it's too expensive to be a value choice and not special enough to be a premium choice. 1. Toyota BZ4X. And here we arrive at the worst Toyota SUV you can buy in 2025 and 2026, and it's Toyota's first serious attempt at a mass-market electric vehicle. The BZ4X is proof that even Toyota, with all their engineering excellence and decades of hybrid expertise, can completely miss the mark when entering a new segment. This electric SUV is a disaster of compromised design, questionable reliability, and bizarre engineering decisions that make you wonder what Toyota was thinking. Let's start with the range, because that's what matters most in an electric vehicle. The BZ4X promises up to 252 miles of range in ideal conditions, which sounds okay until you realize that's best-case scenario and real-world range is significantly less. In cold weather with the heat on and highway speeds, owners are reporting ranges in the 180 to 200-mile range. That's unacceptable in 2025 when competitors are offering 300-plus miles routinely. Toyota's conservative approach to battery technology, which served them well in hybrids, is actively hurting them in the EV market. The charging situation is equally frustrating. The BZ4X can't handle the fastest DC fast charging speeds available today, meaning even when you find a high-powered charger, you're not getting the fastest possible charging times. A 10 to 80% charge takes about 40 minutes on a fast charger, which is slower than many competitors. For a vehicle that already has limited range, slow charging makes the ownership experience even more compromised. Then there's the wheel situation, and this is where things get truly bizarre. Early BZ4X models had a recall because the wheels could literally fall off. Toyota's solution was a software update and inspection program, but the fact that this issue existed at all on a Toyota vehicle is shocking. This is a company that built its reputation on quality and reliability, and they released a vehicle where the wheels weren't properly secured. The recall damaged confidence in the BZ4X in a way that's hard to recover from. The interior of the BZ4X feels like Toyota phoned it in. For a vehicle that starts around $45,000 and can easily reach $55,000 with options, the cabin should feel special. Instead, you get hard plastics and key touch points, a strange yoke-style steering wheel option that's more gimmick than functional improvement, and an infotainment system that feels outdated compared to competitors. The seating position is odd, with a high floor and low roof creating a cramped feeling that shouldn't exist in a vehicle of this size. The value proposition is terrible. For the same money or less, you can buy an Ioniq 5, an EV6, a Model Y, or numerous other electric SUVs that offer more range, faster charging, better technology, and more engaging driving experiences. The only reason to buy a BZ4X is if you're absolutely committed to the Toyota brand, and even then, you'd be better off waiting for Toyota to get their electric vehicle strategy figured out. This vehicle feels like a compliance car that Toyota was forced to build rather than something they actually wanted to make. It's a disappointing effort from a company capable of so much more, and it's easily the worst Toyota SUV you can buy right now. The 4 best Toyota SUVs. 4. Toyota Sequoia. Let's transition from disappointment to vehicles that actually live up to the Toyota name, and we're starting with the big one. The redesigned Toyota Sequoia is a full-size, 3-row SUV that proves Toyota can still build vehicles that matter. This isn't just a good Toyota SUV, this is one of the best full-size SUVs you can buy from any manufacturer, combining capability, refinement, and that legendary Toyota durability in a package that actually makes sense. The powertrain is the first thing that impresses. The Sequoia uses a twin-turbocharged 3.5-liter V6 paired with an electric motor for a total of 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. This is a hybrid system that doesn't sacrifice power for efficiency, it delivers both. The Sequoia feels quick for a vehicle of its size, with smooth, strong acceleration that makes highway merging and passing effortless. The 10-speed automatic transmission is well-tuned and nearly invisible in operation. The fuel economy is remarkable for a full-size SUV. You're looking at around 20 to 22 miles per gallon combined in real-world driving, which is impressive when you consider that the Sequoia can tow up to 9,000 pounds and seat up to 8 passengers. Competitors like the Chevy Tahoe and Ford Expedition with comparable power struggle to break 18 miles per gallon. The hybrid system gives the Sequoia a genuine efficiency advantage without any compromises in capability. The interior is where the Sequoia really shines. Toyota completely redesigned the cabin for this generation, and it shows. The materials feel premium with soft-touch surfaces in all the right places. The seats are comfortable and supportive for long drives. The third row is actually usable for adults, not just children. The infotainment system is modern and responsive, with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This is a cabin you won't mind spending hours in during road trips. What makes the Sequoia a best buy is the combination of all these strengths in a package that you can trust to last. This is built on the same platform as the Tundra pickup truck, using proven Toyota engineering and manufacturing. The hybrid system is derived from technology Toyota has been refining for decades. This isn't experimental or cutting edge in a risky way. This is mature, proven technology applied to a segment that desperately needed it. The Sequoia represents what happens when Toyota gets things right, and it's easily one of the best Toyota SUVs you can buy. 3. Toyota 4Runner. Here's the legend, the SUV that refuses to change, and in doing so has become more relevant than ever. The Toyota 4Runner is essentially the same vehicle it's been for over a decade, riding on a platform that dates back even further, using proven V6 power and body-on-frame construction that some call outdated. But here's the thing, the 4Runner's refusal to chase trends is exactly why it's one of the best Toyota SUVs you can buy. The 4.0-liter V6 engine makes 270 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much in an era of turbocharged engines making big power. But this engine is bulletproof. It's been proven over millions of miles in various Toyota applications. It's simple, understressed, and built to last hundreds of thousands of miles without major issues. Yes, fuel economy is mediocre at around 17 miles per gallon combined, but owners accept this trade-off for legendary reliability. The body-on-frame construction means the 4Runner can handle abuse that would destroy unibody crossovers. You can take this SUV off-road, load it with gear, tow a trailer, and drive it like you own it without worrying about cracking the chassis or damaging structural components. The available TRD Pro and TRD Off-Road trims are genuinely capable off-roaders with real features like locking rear differentials, crawl control, and multi-terrain select systems. What really sets the 4Runner apart is the resale value. These SUVs hold their value better than almost anything else on the market. A 5-year-old 4Runner with 60,000 miles still commands 70% or more of its original price. A 10-year-old 4Runner with 150,000 miles is still a sought-after vehicle. This incredible value retention means your total cost of ownership is actually very low despite mediocre fuel economy and a high initial price. The 4Runner community is passionate and knowledgeable, which means you're buying into a support network of people who can help with modifications, maintenance, and advice. The aftermarket for 4Runners is enormous, with endless options for customization. This is a vehicle that owners keep for 200,000 to 300,000 miles because it refuses to die and because they've personalized it to exactly suit their needs. The 4Runner represents old-school Toyota engineering at its finest, and in a world of complex, unreliable SUVs, that simplicity is increasingly valuable. 2. Toyota Highlander. The Toyota Highlander is what happens when Toyota takes everything they've learned from decades of building family vehicles and applies it to a 3-row SUV. This isn't the most exciting vehicle on the road, and it's not trying to be. What it's trying to be is the perfect family hauler that will serve faithfully for 200,000 miles or more, and at that mission it succeeds brilliantly. The powertrain options are both excellent. The base 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder makes 265 horsepower and delivers respectable fuel economy. The hybrid model combines a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder with electric motors for 243 horsepower and incredible efficiency, around 35 miles per gallon combined. Both powertrains are smooth, refined, and proven. The 8-speed automatic in the gas model and the CVT in the hybrid both do their jobs without fuss. The interior is where the Highlander justifies its popularity. The first and second rows are genuinely spacious with room for adults to be comfortable on long trips. The third row is adequate for children and acceptable for adults on short drives. The materials feel upscale with a mix of soft-touch plastics, available leather, and wood grain accents. The build quality is excellent with tight panel gaps and solid construction throughout. The technology in the Highlander has finally caught up with competitors. The latest infotainment system is responsive and logical with a large touchscreen, wireless smartphone integration, and intuitive menus. The available digital gauge cluster is clear and customizable. This is a modern SUV that doesn't sacrifice Toyota's traditional strengths for trendy features. What makes the Highlander a best buy is its all-around competence. It's not the most powerful, the most luxurious, or the most fun to drive, but it's reliable, practical, efficient, safe, and comfortable. It holds its value exceptionally well. It can be serviced anywhere. Parts are affordable and available. This is the sensible choice that you won't regret 5 years and 100,000 miles from now. The Highlander is what Toyota does best, building vehicles that simply work, day after day, year after year, without drama or disappointment. Toyota RAV4, and here we arrive at the #1 Toyota SUV you should buy, and it's not even close. The Toyota RAV4 is America's best-selling vehicle for a reason, and that reason is simple. It's the most well-rounded, reliable, practical, and value-packed SUV you can buy at any price from any manufacturer. This is Toyota at their absolute best, building a vehicle that excels at everything that actually matters. The RAV4 comes in so many variants that there's literally something for everyone. The base gas model with front-wheel drive starts in the mid-20s and offers solid value for budget-conscious buyers. The all-wheel drive models add capability for those who need it. The RAV4 Hybrid delivers outstanding fuel economy, around 40 miles per gallon combined, without sacrificing space or capability. The RAV4 Prime plug-in hybrid offers electric-only driving and serious performance with 302 horsepower. And the TRD off-road trim provides genuine trail capability for adventure seekers. The powertrain in the standard RAV4 is a proven 2.5-liter four-cylinder, making 203 horsepower. It's not exciting, but it's smooth, reliable, and adequately powerful for daily driving. The 8-speed automatic transmission is well-tuned and responsive. The hybrid model uses Toyota's legendary hybrid system that's been proven over millions of miles. This is mature, reliable technology that simply works without drama. The interior has improved dramatically in recent generations. The current RAV4 cabin feels modern and well-built with quality materials, comfortable seats, and an intuitive layout. The infotainment system has caught up with competitors, offering responsive touchscreens, wireless connectivity, and logical menus. The driver's position is excellent with good visibility and comfortable seating. The cargo area is spacious and practical with a low-load floor and wide opening. What really makes the RAV4 the best Toyota SUV is the total package. It's affordable to buy, cheap to own, reliable for the long term, practical for daily life, efficient with fuel, safe for families, and holds its value exceptionally well. You can buy a base RAV4 and feel good about your purchase, or you can load up a Prime with every option and still feel like you got good value. The RAV4 serves everyone from young professionals to growing families to empty nesters, and it does so with Toyota's legendary reliability backing every mile. The resale value is phenomenal. RAV4s hold their value better than almost any other vehicle, particularly the hybrid and Prime models. This strong resale means your total cost of ownership is incredibly low. You're not just buying a vehicle, you're making an investment that will retain value and serve you faithfully for as long as you want to keep it. Parts are cheap and available everywhere. Any mechanic can work on it. Reliability is virtually guaranteed. The RAV4 represents everything right about Toyota. It's not flashy, it's not groundbreaking, and it's not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's simply an exceptionally well-executed vehicle that does everything you need it to do without fuss, drama, or disappointment. In a market full of compromises and questionable choices, the RAV4 stands out as the obvious answer for most people most of the time. It's the best Toyota SUV you can buy, and it's arguably the best SUV you can buy from any manufacturer if your priorities are reliability, value, and practical excellence. 3 Toyota SUVs to avoid and 4 that actually deserve the legendary Toyota reputation. Prove that even Toyota can miss the mark when they prioritize cost-cutting, awkward market positioning, or rush into new technology. The common thread among the best Toyota SUVs is clear: proven powertrains, practical design, excellent build quality, and a commitment to making vehicles that simply work for the long term. These are SUVs you can buy with confidence, drive with pleasure, and own for decades without the anxiety that comes with less reliable brands. And don't forget to check out those top-notch products I've tagged in the description. They're carefully selected to enhance your SUV ownership experience. The choice is yours, but now you know which Toyota SUVs will serve you well and which ones to avoid at the dealership.